Okay, this will be a video chart on HESG, Health Sciences Group Incorporated. Uh, I did this one quite a few times. I'm trying to think whether it was 3 or 4 days in a row during this big move. This was actually alerted to people at 0007, and then it made its big move up here, and it's since pulled back. And I've been getting requests on it again, kind of asking for an update. And looking back through the records, it has been a while since I did the video on it. So just want to get back here, kind of give a quick little update. The video is not going to be anything groundbreaking, but at the same time, it'll give everybody the a refreshed update from a technical analysis viewpoint on things. So real quick, just a little history. We had our big move here, then we had the big kind of collapse, but I don't want to say complete collapse because from a daily chart perspective, this low here was still higher than both this low and these lows down here. So technically, there are being higher lows put in. But if you're a day trader and you bought up here or here, yeah, you would probably consider that a collapse. But if you, bought down here and you saw that, it did put in that higher low. So technically, the chart is still in play. So the things that you want to keep your eye on and so forth. Well, actually, let me take a step back. There is one update that needs to be pointed out. All these lines you see are from the previous times I've done the video. And the one update that does need to be made is right here. Whoops, this is no longer support level because it failed to the downside. It is now a resistance. So this former support is now resistance, and this is at 0.0015. And I'll get back to that in a second. But right now, the thing to keep an eye on is just simply your moving averages. Right here, we have the 50-day simple moving average, and here you can see the 20-day or the middle Bollinger Band, both same thing, doing a very good job of keeping the price, steady. It's kind of acting as a little trampoline. Every time the price gets there, it bounces back up, and if history repeats itself, maybe we're either going to see a little, pop here upwards because it is getting, right here, kind of coiled up at this spot. The other key thing that I do like about the chart is, once again, if you go back and watch my other videos, I pointed out this support level right there as kind of a very important one that you want to see hold strong. And for the most part, you can see that it has held. The price has definitely remained in this zone. Support resistances, they're not specific exact prices. They're zones, or I like to think of them as kind of webs. So you can see that the price is maintained within this web around this line the whole time. But it's one of those things where I'd like to see some upwards movement now. This has had plenty of time to consolidate, so kind of the bulls need to make up their mind here and decide if they're going to get back moving or if they're just going to let the bears take control because it's had plenty of time. Like I said, it's been chopping back and forth. So if it's going to make a move, now's it's getting closer to the time where that's going to need to happen, or else from a psychological standpoint, people are just going to lose patience. They're going to sell, and then this line here is going to crash, and it'll probably head back down here to the 50-day simple moving average. So looking at it from a psychological standpoint, people are ready. I mean, it's had enough sideways action. People want to see some upwards action, so hopefully the bulls can start to get on that task. So if we do get some upward action, the question becomes, well, where are the potential battlegrounds? Where are the resistance levels where the bulls could struggle? And the first one is simply this updated level here. That is at 0.0015. Like I said, it had been a support when it broke, but then when it came down here and failed, turned back into a resistance, and you can see right here, knocked the price back down. So 0015 is the first key resistance level. And then glancing at the chart here, I can see another one that might give some trouble, this level right here. But what I'm going to do is change that to a skinnier red line because I don't think it'll put up too much of a fight. But I could see a little bit of a fight up here at 0.0017. And then after that, it could really get on the move again as, their previous resistance levels. I'm going to get rid of that one there. The next, as the previous highs aren't till way up here. So very clear, you can see that there is quite a bit of a gap in between these two areas. But one step at a time, we first got to just even see if the bulls are going to make a push upwards at this level. The other thing to note is volume has remained relatively strong. Over 500 million shares traded again today. If there is going to be any sort of assault up here to these resistance levels, we're going to need to see another day like this, or better yet, one of these days over here, to help give the bulls some push and momentum. But we'll have to see what happens. The one good news is the price has finally settled out. You're going sideways right around this area, but that's the pro. But in the con of that same situation is, like I touched on earlier, from a psychological standpoint, people are eventually going to get bored and frustrated and just sell to move on. So that's why this needs to hurry up and make up its mind before some of the not as strong holders decide that they want to go put their money in something else that looks like it's going to be moving a little bit better. So that's the one thing you got to keep in mind here. So that's where we stand right now. Consolidation, but it has had long enough to consolidate. So tomorrow we'll see what happens. It is Friday, but next week's going to be an important week in terms of hoping getting some price action in the bulls' favor. So if you do have any other questions on the chart, please shoot me a message and I'll do my best to help you out. I'd also encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, which has been getting good reviews. And then with your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, from things from penny stocks all the way up to big board. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. And best part is no strings attached. It's all free. We've been making some good money together, so it's worth at least checking out and giving it a try. One more time, this was HESG. Thanks for listening.